Growing up, Owen really didn't have a lot to call his own. When you're from a large family like ours, it can be pretty tough to find things that make you really unique, or something you could be proud of. When you'd pull your chair up to the table for dinner at night, and everyone sort of said what they were up to, by the time it got to Owen, he always really struggled, you know. Even when he got to the WWF, and was teamed with Koko, he still couldn't really break out on his own. I remember he'd get pretty upset because my dad Stu would end up asking about that colorful magpie instead of Owen's character, which I think Owen used to sort of resent. Finally, when we did the angle where he was the King of Harts, and feuding with me, he really enjoyed it. I mean, Owen would come home to the Hart house after a few weeks on the road, and really have something unique to talk to my dad about. You could tell for once he was pretty happy in his career. My dad Stu would ask him about his matches, and where the program was going. He was finally pretty invested in Owen, you know. My dad Stu used to say a wrestler who thinks he's over, gets over, which is just sort of an old-school shooter's way of saying that being confident is a pretty big part of your performance, you know. I remember the week after Owen won the 2 Slammies. He asked Vince if he could take them home, and that it'd really sell the story. He was waiting for me to get home, because he knew I had my trophy room and was maybe hoping to get my advice on how to build his own sort of thing. He knew my trophy room was very tastefully laid out, layered sort of styling, and most of all my trophies were going to be safe, which I took a lot of pride in. Owen was talking to my dad about them on the front porch when Bruce showed up. Apparently Bruce got off the school bus and was in a pretty jealous mood, which was pretty common for Bruce, you know. He never liked anyone else getting attention. Bruce saw Owen showing the Slammies and he grabbed one to take a look. Owen wasn't going to take it anymore and they ended up getting into a bit of a shoot. My dad had to break them up and almost had to take them down to the dungeon sort of thing. After that, Owen decided to take them on the road with him because he didn't want to leave the trophies alone in Calgary with Bruce. That's why he started carrying them to the ring.